Review.
Hello everybody, welcome to another True Review. I am of course True, your Million G Gamer, and this is Paw Patrol On a Roll on the Xbox One. Currently available for the price of $34.99 in the UK and $39.99 in EU and US regions.
Story.
Join the full cast: Chase, Marshall, Rubble, Rocky, Zuma, Sky, Everest and Tracker on 16 missions taken from a TV show in a host of rescue missions, from saving ducks down a hole to rescuing people from broken ski lifts. There's really no story as such, as each level is really self-contained within one another, and to be honest with you, other than the brief introduction that you get from the human character Ryder at the start of the game, you don't get a lot of other information of what the rescue mission entails.
Graphics.
Paw Patrol On a Roll is a side-on platformer, so the visuals on this are a little bit of an oddity. The character models are great, they actually do represent the show really well, and you can clearly tell who the character is, and especially in game as well, the character models, even though they're a little bit too far away and I would have liked them to be a bit close to the camera, they do reflect each of the pups extremely well and accurately. The big problem with the graphics, and the biggest letdown, is the level designs themselves. They're so basic and bland, it is unbelievable. The immediate backgrounds aren't too bad. The actual plane that your dog is actually running on, these can be like boxes, rock faces, grassy area, vines, things such as that, depending on what the level actually entails. But the big problem comes in the medium to far off background. It's pretty much non-existent. It is like they cannot have been bothered with this. This is going to be kind of like a running theme throughout the review. It's kind of like, you get the attitude, it's a kid's title, we can't be bothered, the kids won't mind. And that's not a stance you should take with any video game. If it's a kid's game, why should it be an inferior product? I mean, you can see from yourself from the visuals exactly what I mean. The foreground and the ground that your pup is running on, fine, but everything else behind it, absolutely shocking and abysmal. It goes from barely acceptable to non-existent. It's terrible. The ground looks all washed out and wrong in these far off background pieces. It even looks like a PS1 kind of era of texture. It is honestly that bad. The money on the license, obviously, unless they got the license dead cheap, obviously, and just couldn't be bothered doing it justice. I just don't understand it at all. In between the levels at the start, there is a cutscene where you see the pups ride up into the tower, and Ryder gives the pups the mission outlay, and that bit is ripped straight from the show. It is very good, even though the colour palettes are a little bit washed out and not as vibrant as the TV show. It depicts that scene pretty well, especially those ones where they slide into their relevant vehicles to go onto the rescue mission itself.
Sound.
And you helped Chase move them off the road. Now it's Rocky's turn. Help him repair the bridge so the sheep can go home. Rocky! We're about halfway to the
Now this again is another total letdown. Again, I can't fathom why, when they have paid for the license, they don't have use of either the music or the voices. Now the iconic scene when they all set off from the control tower and go down the slide into their vehicles is probably one of the most iconic scenes in Paw Patrol. I mean, I've watched enough of Paw Patrol having a 3-year-old to know this is the scene they get excited about when they're setting off on a rescue, and that music is completely different to what it is in the show. It's kind of like an imitation of it, but nowhere like it, and it's a big letdown. Same with the incidental music in all the levels as well. It is so off the shelf. It's like they've pulled one of the canned musical tracks off YouTube when you want to replace a track with, with a copyrighted track with just a generic piece of music. It's literally like they have done that with it. It's so bad. Onto the voice performances. I don't know if it is the right actor who's doing it, if it is the real actor, but the character Ryder, that's a human character who gives the pup all their instructions, he sounds like he is the person from the show. If it's not the person from the show, it's somebody doing a bang-up imitation job. But this is Paw Patrol. The kids are here to see the dogs, to play the dogs. The dogs are not voiced at all. They have no voice at all, not even a pale imitation of them. Complete silence. Now, I understand that voice actors may have not wanted to do the performances for it, and they cost individual, license fees to do that. I've come across games licensed in the past where they've had to hire people to imitate the voices of the original cast and everything to varying degrees. But this is nothing. So the pups, which are the character and heart of the soul, have no heart and soul in this game.
Gameplay.
So 16 missions does seem good value, but to be honest with you, they're all exactly the same. They're moving left to right through the level. There's 200 pup treats to collect and 5 golden paw prints in each stage. Now, the only thing you actually get from collecting these is you unlock a really oddly resolution photograph at the end. And for achievement purposes, that's pretty much all you're collecting these for. Otherwise, you can just simply move from left to right throughout the level. The levels themselves are set up where you play as 2 pups each on the mission, with others supporting those to get past certain obstacles. Now, these obstructions can be a hole in the ground, a body of water, a bridge that needs repairs, something as simple as that. And when you get to these obstacles, you get presented with a choice of 3 actions used by your X, Y and B button on the Xbox One. And to choose a solution, you just simply press one of the buttons. There's only one solution to each problem, so if you pick the wrong one, you just simply try again. Now, there are a few more involved puzzles, which involve, I think it's Rocky, who's the green pup, and Rubble, who's the yellow pup, where you have to repair bridges or chasms in the ground, where you have to put the right shape into the right hole, basically. Very simple. You've only got 3 choices there, and kids at the lower end of the range for this game, like 3 and upwards, may enjoy that, but at the top end of the Paw Patrol range, which I believe is aimed at anything from 1 year to 8 years, I've seen mentioned on some fan sites in regards to the franchise, then kids at the upper end of that spectrum, it's going to be no challenge to them whatsoever and not very entertaining at all. Some of the pups do have on-rail sections as well. Sky has a flying section where you have to dodge birds, clouds and hit speed boosts to get through the sections quicker. Zuma has the exact same section but underwater, where instead of dodging birds you're dodging fish and dodging reeds in the water. And Everest has a snowboarding section where you just simply have to jump over obstacles in the path to collect usually pup treats. Now, my 3.5-year-old loved this game. It's her first video game and she's really into Paw Patrol, and she took to it like a duck to water. Now, the basic nature of the game is fantastic for this age range, around about the 3 to 5 area, because it is simply hold down right and press one button to jump, and the face buttons every now and then to solve a puzzle. So it is something that you can give your kids of that age to play through, and they can happily move the pup around and jump around. This is helped even further because there's no pitfalls, there's no enemies to dodge, there's no way you can technically fail in this game. You just simply move from right to left, collecting any number of these pup treats that you want to do, get to the end of the level and you win the mission. Kids of that age will probably not notice there's very little effort put into this title, and won't even notice that the dogs don't actually talk and things such as that, and will be more forgiving of it. But like I say, I looked at a fan site for the Paw Patrol franchise, and the range is from 1 to 7, 8 years old. Kids of 6 to 7 will find this extremely bland and non-entertaining at all. The kids are savvy nowadays. They will know when they're being taken for a ride, and it's just not entertaining for anybody other than the youngest children. I never understand why is it when a kids game comes along, they see it as an easy cashing. Sure, they've shelled out money for the license, so why not put that effort in and use that license and make something genuinely good? Instead, they've gone down the cheapest route possible. They basically skinned characters into looking like Paw Patrol, and that's pretty much all they've done with it. This could be any generic platform game. It is just so run-of-the-mill, so basic, so little effort put into it. And the kicker is, they've put this out at retail as well. I mean, £35 for this in the UK, $39.99 US and EU. That is an insult. That is a really high price point for something that has not taken much time to knock together at all. It is just so basic, so rudimentary, and just a giant con, in all honesty. And I definitely cannot recommend this game.
Disaster.
So thank you very much for watching, everybody. As per usual, if you enjoyed the video, why not hit that like, share and subscribe button. It really does help the channel, and I do stream each and every night on Twitch, so if you want to come and join the chat there, you can follow the link in the description below. I'll catch you on the next one.